Yat, mat, at, sat.
Good. You're learning, man. You're learning. All right, so let's move on to something a little harder. All right, so trees have bow. Trees have a bow. Okay?
Tree bow.
All right. Now, let's move on to this one. I am
Row.
Hello everybody. So for this lesson, we're going to be looking at some reasons why Spanish is arguably easier than English. I mean, the most common excuse that I've ever heard for not learning Spanish is it's too difficult, or English is already hard for me and it's supposed to be my official language. How am I going to learn another language? Well, I am here to tell you that if you could learn some of those things in English, some things that are borderline dangerously difficult, if you could learn those, just imagine what you could learn in Spanish, because phonetically Spanish is easier than English, trust me. And considering that the primary skill for any language is speaking, you can start learning Spanish. It's not that hard. It's actually easier than you think. Now, come find out why. Okay, so Spanish may be easier than English. Here's why. Number one, the words are easy to pronounce. Examples: caja, box; gigante, gigantic. So the thing is, with Spanish, the words pretty much sound like what they look like. So there's no ifing or butting, it's pretty much plain and simple. Except for a few letters, like the letter H, which is silent, the letter J, which typically sounds like an H, and the fact that B and V have the same sound. But besides that, it's not that for one word the H is silent, and in another word where you see an H, it's not silent. No, the thing is, it's pretty consistent. So once you've got it good, and you're good to go. Number two, the words are easy to spell. You can imagine that if the words sound like what they look like, they're spelled the way they sound, right? Examples: gracias, gracias. No guessing there. It's spelled just like how it sounds. Salud, salud. Disculpa. As you can see, all of these words sound just like how they're spelled, right? Pretty simple. On to the next one. Number three. The structure for pluralization is systematic. Examples: you add S to words that end with a vowel and add ES to words that end with a consonant. Mind you, there are a few exceptions, but for the most part, this is how words are pluralized in Spanish. And the ones that don't go by this rule, they're so minimal, they're barely worth mentioning. I'm going to show you a little video. I'm going to show you a little video about the different ways in which verbs are pluralized in English. And when you take a look at those and listen to what the poem is saying, you're going to be like, wow, this is what I've been putting up with all along. So if I could actually survive all of this, I can survive learning pluralization in Spanish. Now, there's a poem written by an anonymous writer called "Is English Hard?" And it begins: we'll begin with a box, and the plural is boxes, but the plural of ox should be ox, not oxes. Then one fowl is a goose, but two are called geese, yet the plural of moose should never be meese. You may find a lone mouse or a whole nest of mice, but the plural of house is houses, not hice. If the plural of man is always called men,
Why shouldn't the plural of pan be called pen? The cow in the plural may be cows or kine, but a bow, if repeated, is never called bine, and the plural of vow is vows, never vine. If I speak of a foot and you show me your feet, and I give you a boot, would a pair be called beat? If one is a tooth and a whole set are teeth, why shouldn't the plural of booth be called beeth? If the singular's this and the plural is these, should the plural of kiss ever be nicknamed keys? Then one may be that, and three would be those, yet hat in the plural would never be hose. And the plural of cat is cats, not cows.
Alright, number 4. Most of the exceptions to rules are logical. And note, I'm saying most. I don't want anybody coming for my neck. Most of the exceptions to rules are logical. Examples. The plural of el jueves is los jueves. And that's Thursday. So Thursday and Thursdays is the same thing except for the article. That makes sense, right? Because typically when you're pluralizing words, you add an S or an ES. So if the word already ends with an S, what are you going to do? It makes sense, right? Another example. La foto ends with O because it's short for la fotografía. I mean, typically, we know that in Spanish, words that end with an O are masculine and words that end with an A are feminine. So for this instance, la foto, we see la and then we see photo ending with O. Most persons at first glance would probably say, but how is that even possible? Photo ends with an O. How is it? Why does it have a feminine article? Well, this is why. Because the actual word, the abbreviated form is photo, but the entire word would actually end with an A. So that's logical, right? Yeah. Number 5. It's easier to form negations. Examples. You simply add a no. Voy de compras, no voy de compras. I go shopping, I don't go shopping. Ahora, ahora no. Now, not now. So as you can see, with voy de compras and no voy de compras, the no goes directly before the verb, while the no, which would indicate not, would go directly after the phrase, which would be ahora, which means now. So pretty much, if you want to make something negative, you just add a no. That's simple, right? See? I told you it's not as hard as you thought. On the other hand, when you're making things negative in English, there's so many prefixes you've got to remember. In, im, on, il, this, ir, none. And you've also got to remember which one goes with what. And because there's so many, it can sometimes get confusing. Because in Spanish, all you pretty much need is a no before the verb. Like if you're saying it's correct, es correcto. It's not correct, no es correcto. See? And it works as simple as that. Now we've come to the end of our video. I hope you learned a lot and I hope this motivates you to start learning Spanish, because I guess by now you're thinking, oh, I was kidding myself all along. I was really tripping all along, because Spanish is actually pretty easy. I can do this and now I'm ready to learn Spanish. I hope that's what you're saying. Anyways, this is where we end. Nos vemos.